What's going on, YouTube? How is everybody today? So, out of the blue, like right out of the blue, there's the color blue, and then this guy called Greg Arganda just comes out of it, and he plugs me, gives me this huge plug, just got me a whole whack fuckload of subs for my movie channel. I'll post links to both in the sidebar, but Greg Arganda is a great guy. I've been subscribed to him in one form or another since probably his conception. I've been there watching him. He's a great guy. He's come a very long way. Very, very smart guy. It's kind of like if you took Roger Ebert and just took everything that sucks about him out and made him a lot smarter, made him a lot more down to earth, made him a lot cooler, gave him a little more of a refined taste in movies. It's Greg Arganda, very smart guy. He's got a lot of character. He's very personable. He'll, talk to you and communicate with you. Very smart guy. Movie reviews, comic books. Awesome dude, man. He's just great, very informative. Thank you very much for the plug. I don't know where it came from, but thanks. Go subscribe to him. Bada bing, bada boom. So today we're going to talk about an album that I absolutely love. It's by a guy called Tim Hecker. It's called Harmony and Ultraviolet. It came out in 2006 on Kranky Records. It's his fourth full length, and something that probably deters a lot of people from listening to this kind of thing, or would deter you from listening to this, is that it's experimental ambient music made on a laptop, and already I can hear people going, "Ugh," but this guy is awesome. He's got a lot of crossover appeal, especially if you're into like very atmospheric kind of metal, if you like drone metal or any kind of experimental metal where it's got big waves of sound, big tidal riffs. Like it's some excerpts on here remind me of like very, very atmospheric moments on like Tool albums or like ISIS. But also, he's like, this guy, crosses all kinds of borders. He's friends with actually members of ISIS too. He's friends with Aaron Turner, and he's also friends with Nadja members, Aiden Baker, electronic artists like Daedalus. He's really refined his sound on this album. It's his fourth full-length album. His past albums I enjoy a lot too. I think I have all his records so far. I even got all his EPs on vinyl. I love this guy. He's from Montreal. He's Canadian. Doesn't mean anything. But yeah, this album is just chock full of cool dynamics, just chock full of all this kind of dense sound and light sound. The dynamic on here is a lot of kind of like, it'll be a lot of calm areas and a lot of chaos, a lot of rising, a lot of falling, a lot of tidal waves, and then just tidal pools, sunrises, supernovas, galaxies being formed, things imploding, big freighter boats crashing through tidal waves, and then kids playing in wading pools kind of sound, a lot of very ethereal sounds, very cloudy, very heavy, very monolithic, lots of minimal little sounds. It's got a little like a river current of noise going underneath the whole album, a lot of trickling, cascading noises on here, intricacies and all that kind of shit. It's equal parts experimental ambient, equal parts like glitch, dub, noise, drone, all that good shit that I love. Very well orchestrated. I'd say Tim Hecker is more of an architect than an actual composer, just making huge big monoliths of just song sounds on here. It's all instrumental. There's some organ, some guitar, some synth, like I already said. But yeah, it's like pretty much if you took the dawn of time and the apocalypse and just slapped those two things together and made an album out of it, it'd pretty much be this album. This would be the album too. If I could buy an album for everyone in the world, like if I could just like say everyone in the world should have what album, it would be this one easily, because it's awesome. Like my friend Chad burnt me a copy of this album before I even heard of this guy or was into any kind of like experimental ambient music. I don't think I listened to anything ambient before. I just thought it was some stupid chachi relaxation type shit. I didn't know it had this power and tectonic ability inside of it. But yeah, I remember I took it home and listened to it. He's like, Phil, you listen to Sun, you listen to Earth, you have to listen to this too. And it was like, sure. Not that this is like a drone album at all, though there is a lot of like droning, stretched out, sustained notes on here too. There's a lot of chopped up things and all kinds of splices. But yeah, I took it home and just mind blow. It was crazy. Instantly became a fan of this guy. Yeah, totally headphones recommended for this album too. A lot of details, a lot of intricacies like I already said, but there's also a lot of big massive sounds on here too that just demand your attention. things materializing and just dematerializing in front of you, big giant sounds coming out of this fog and going back into it, things, volcanoes erupting, raindrops, everything. It's a crazy album. Not that it has any of those sounds, but that's what they would be akin to if you were doing like mental imageries, experimenting and flirting with these different kinds of structures and shit like that, man. It's a crazy album. It can be very dark and tense at times, and other parts it'll be unbelievably bright with all this kind of white noise and shining. Just, it's kind of album that the one theme that it has throughout it is a very kind of like isolating album, just because it shuts out so much of the outside world that it just leaves you all alone. Just buries you in sound slowly like an avalanche, just layer by layer, just taking you away before it ends, and you're like, what happened? But yeah, very cool album. I found it very refreshing to listen to this, very uplifting in the sense that it reminded me that there's actually good artists left in the world, smart people, intelligence is still around in humanity in some form, so that's good. I was very happy to hear that. It's 15 songs, but the album has an excellent flow to it. Might as well just be one song in 50 minutes. Very much so like if Tangerine Dream and Brian Eno had a jam with like Sun or Aaron Turner or Nadja at their best, at their height. Totally an A+ album. I recommend everyone listen to it. I'm not just trying to blow smoke up your ass and say, yeah, it's experimental ambient music and I'm really into it. It's actually like, it doesn't even matter if it's experimental ambient. It's just fucking really, really good music. Totally kind of shit that'll blow your mind. It's all made by one guy and his computer and some instruments. Plug it all in there, boom. But yeah, all kinds of like I said, like Serenity and Chaos, Dawn of Time, The Apocalypse, crazy shit on here. It's epically good. Totally recommend you guys check out Greg Arganda as well as Tim Hecker. Greg Arganda being the Tim Hecker of movie reviews. Harmony and Ultraviolet, 2006, Kranky Records. Peace out.